What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. We are getting closer to the football season, and I could not be more excited. I'm so freaking pumped for it, but I'm really more pumped for fantasy football. Am I right, fellas? Come on. Come on. As you should be excited if you are a Niner fan because you heard it from her mouth herself, Kate Adams said that if Christian McCaffrey comes back healthy, they are right in the mix as far as being in the NFC and the championship. Come on, dude. If Kay Adams says it, we have to agree.
So,
no. No. You can't say that, all right? Simp is actually a word where you could get banned. Don't you remember Twitch?
We are on Twitch right now. Whoops.
Oh, yeah, we are on Twitch. I forgot about that. Well, welcome, Twitch people. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome, Twitter. Welcome, Facebook. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We got Gabriel Munoz here. It says NSP Madden Challenge. We do not have the equipment to be streaming Madden.
Nor the money.
Yeah, correct. We are a nonprofit show. We are a negative show.
Yes.
Trey, I don't know why I said Taylor, says that we're late. Yeah. It's style, dude. Come on, get with it. It is. That's what it is. And so today we're going to be talking about NFL news and updates, right? Obviously, everyone saw the new Madden cover photo, which is awesome, right?
Yep.
We all knew it was going to happen. As soon as that play took place, as soon as everyone saw the replay and the highlights, everyone's like, okay, that's Madden right there. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. That's Madden, right? It was just too obvious. It was way too obvious. The only thing that could ruin it is if we get the special edition or the MVP edition. I forgot what they're called now, and Jalen Hurts is on the cover.
Fair.
Am I just being? I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I really don't. No. But I just like I think about it, and I'm just like, oh yuck, right? Barf.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Even though I haven't been buying Madden for the past.
It's been a while.
Yeah, maybe 3 years.
No, you had Madden 23, AJ.
Do I have Madden 23?
And I think we got Madden 24.
I have Madden 23.
24. I didn't get Madden 24.
I think you did. But it never worked for us. Off topic, sorry.
That's all right. This is a podcast. This is what podcasts are all about. And before we get into Madden here, I do want to talk about a real stud in the football league, which probably everyone here doesn't really know, especially Reed. His name is Frank Ragnoll. He is the center who just announced retirement for the Detroit Lions. So that's actually good news for you, Reed.
Yes,
all right.
Good news.
And why I wanted to bring this up. We're all happy for him, right? He got the bag. Now he gets to retire, rest his body a little bit. But this is going to hurt the Lions big time, right? The Lions, hopefully, they had an idea that he was going to retire before the draft last offseason. But if this is just a bombshell of news dropped on them right now, that's horrible. And I feel bad for the Lions because, I mean, look at their run game. Their run game is spectacular. Their pass protection is spectacular. I mean, Jared Goff ain't crap. He ain't shit, right? But that offensive line is great. You're coming from a top-rated offensive line in the league. You have one of the highest-rated centers in the league. Now just announcing retirement. So now what is the pass protection going to look like? Are you going to rotate some guys? What is the run game going to look like, right? You're going to have that 1-2 punch. What are they looking like? Can they run down the middle, or are they just going to hit the sticks? What's going to happen? I don't know. I think this is a huge impact. I think this is not great for the Lions. I think this is great for the Packers. Reed, what are your thoughts here with Frank retiring?
Yeah, I'm glad he's thinking about his health. All jokes aside, yes, I'm happy that they lost a great player. Yes, because that gives the Packers an advantage. But I'm glad he's putting his health first and not trying to push himself past what he can actually do. I think it's very smart for him for his career and his life. But yeah, huge loss for them. I think they will be okay. I think they'll still be top tier offensive line, regardless with or without him. I think they'll still be very good because they have. I'm blanking their offensive tackle, Sewell or Sewell. Thank you very much. So definitely still got offensive line, I think. But my biggest question mark for the Lions is not certain players. I still think they have a really good roster. Hopefully they can stay healthy this year and not run out of excuses of why they lose in the playoffs again. My biggest question mark for the Lions, yes, you still have Dan Campbell, who is a good head coach, but he lost his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. I think that's very important. Both of those positions are not just like laughed at. They are very, very important, both of them. We saw what happened with the Eagles last year or 2 years ago when they lost their their two coordinators. They hired new guys, weren't the right fit. They fired both of them, and then they hired two new guys, and then they went to the Super Bowl. Okay, I think it's very, very very important coordinators. I don't think Dan Campbell does X's and O's. No offense to him, he is a culture setter. I don't think he's the X and O guy in that building. So very interesting to see what they're going to be able to do with a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator.
Very well said, Reed. And maybe this is a direct impact from losing a coordinator, right? We don't know. I do want to say hi to Andrea. Andrea, appreciate you coming back. So excited. Do want to announce that we are taking registrations already for fantasy football. So if you are interested, which I know you had a really great run last year, and hopefully maybe you can make it to the big show this upcoming year if you decide to move forward with fantasy football here in NSP. But Vincent, I know you hate linemen with a passion. So what are your thoughts here with Frank?
I mean, it's a huge loss for sure. My opinion, I think the Lions will recover. But I think Reed makes a great point about the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. You know, they're fresh new guys in. So it depends on how those guys adapt to it. But it seems like on their depth chart already, they already have the center filled with Graham Glasgow. And we all know he's a great lineman. How will they do with him sliding over from guard to center? Who knows? Maybe it'll be somebody else.
Just offensive lineman, Trey. You're fine. He just offensive lineman.
Especially centers. No, but I think they'll be all right. I mean, they have Taylor Decker. They have Penny Sewell, Graham Glasgow. And then I'm pretty sure they've drafted some younger guys to get in there, rotation guys. I mean, this team is all about depth now. They've had the studs already. They're losing one right now to retirement. Happy for him, though. But I think they'll bounce back. Obviously, they're running backs in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Bowling ball type of running backs, both of them. One's quicker than the other. But I think the run game will be just fine as long as the offensive coordinator, like Reed said, can adjust and use these guys just as well as the past offensive coordinator had. So we'll see. But yeah, congrats to him. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a heck of a time with his family. He's got millions upon millions to go and spend or invest or whatever he wants to do. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have a great time.
Andrea with the hardball questions already here. He says, should Gibbs go in round one? You know what? As just like last year, right? I could very much see Gibbs going late round one. If you draft with NSP, you know our drafting styles. I'm a wide receiver top heavy guy, right? I'm going to go wide receiver 1 and 2, which can change this year. You got to stay tuned to NSP Fantasy Football Talk. But Gibbs could clear as a round 1 running back. I think he's projected to be honestly a top 10, right? But do we see him as a top 5? I don't know now with the center retiring and with the offensive coordinator gone, with David Montgomery coming back. What do we think?
I mean, obviously David Montgomery plays a big role in that too. We know that this team is a run heavy team, regardless of whoever's there. They're just a stellar offense in general, which limits Jahmyr Gibbs' touches, as we always usually say. I think that's why he'll drop out of the first round and go quick in the second. He's still a very high ranked player overall in fantasy, so I think he'll be just fine.
Y'all see this? Look at that. Look at the bottom right of the screen.
Yeah, put that on there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was pointing towards it.
Make sure y'all comment. I want to see this thing fill up. Comment. It makes us look better if there's just one comment. Come on.
Yeah.
It really, come on, help us out, okay? Hit that button too. If you haven't yet, hit the like button.
Why aren't trays up there? Is because we added it?
I added this before Andrea's. That's why.
Okay.
I feel like a legit streamer. Like, hey, man, if we got a podcast, it's just that. You know, we don't have to Whatever. Oh, we'll get into that later. But that's enough about the Lions. I still got bad taste in my mouth with Jared Goff, and I just don't like it. Yuck. So now we're gonna head into we're gonna get into Madden and the Madden curse. Okay, will the Madden curse get Saquon Barkley as it did its past victims? And yes, before the comment section says, "Oh, just like they got CMC, right, AJ?" Yes, yes, just like they got CMC. Are we going to see with Saquon Barkley, top-rated running back in the league, the biggest explosive player in the league last year? I'm always the one to say, "No, guys, the Madden curse ain't real. It just doesn't happen. It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence." My poor CMC. They got my boy CMC last year. Oh man. But I'm gonna pass on the mic because clearly I just want to talk about CMC. Reed.
So I really hope it's not real for Saquon Barkley. I love Saquon Barkley, watching him be able to play. I wish it wasn't on the Eagles, but I want him to go out and have another incredible year. I hope he has a chance to beat the rushing record like he got so close to last year. I really love to see that. So I hope he doesn't. I'm going to say no, he doesn't get the Madden curse because of the offensive line he's behind. It is very good. They can protect him and help him not take those big hits. Okay, where CMC last year, not such a good offensive line, a lot of hits. You know,
he got hurt before the season started. What?
Offensive line weren't there to help him. They just weren't there.
It just proves my point that these guys hate offensive linemen with a passion. It's always their fault. Always.
They're going to protect Saquon, and then it's not going to be their fault. It's going to be their credit that he's healthy.
It feels like the Madden curse always takes an effect in some way. Some more serious than others, but you always see some type of injury, suspension, or something going on with the player that's focused on the Madden cover. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe there's someone out there that never got affected. But, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers.
There are, yeah. Sorry. Cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was waiting for your reaction. But, Vincent, Madden curse, hitting Saquon clear. Is his thighs too large? What's going on?
Well, Saquon's already been hit with a lot of injuries before in his career. He's had an ACL taken out. He's had ankles get really bad when he's got some sprains there. I'm hoping that maybe it's just not as of a stellar year this year for him at the very least, or the very most, because obviously I don't want him to get injured. He's a great player, and we can finally see his true greatness on a great offensive line there with the Eagles. But it is what it is. I mean, he's on there. He's fully embracing it. I mean, I saw the videos of where he was actually doing the jump, and I think they had like those nodes on him, and they were taking the pictures, so they can actually like add that into the video that's going to come out in the Madden cover, everything like that. So I think it's pretty cool for Saquon. Obviously, I think he should have been there at least one time before this, also when he had that tremendous season. I believe it was his rookie year. But then, of course, injuries have just plagued him, and he played for the New York Giants. So it is what it is back then, but now he finally gets his shining moment, and I hope it doesn't end in disaster.
Trey says Patrick Mahomes, I don't think had the curse, and he was on back-to-back, wasn't he? Well, that's the thing. He wasn't back-to-back, but he shared the Madden cover with Tom Brady, and look how Tom Brady's broadcasting career is going so far. I like it. I like him. I do. But, I mean, look at all the hate that he's getting, right? They have to make commercials for him to make him look like he's the underdog in broadcasting. If you know, you know. But, yeah, Patrick Mahomes was one of the ones that were, like, not really affected by it. But which reminds me, since we're talking about the Giants, someone came out, a former Giants player, and said, I never really wanted to get traded away from the Giants. I wanted to stay there and win a Super Bowl with them. It was their decision to get rid of me. This player, none other than Madden cover himself, Odell Beckham Jr. Is this bull, or do we think that this could be legit? Because they didn't trade Saquon. They wait till his contract ended, and we all had a feeling that OBJ wanted out of there, but he comes out and says, "Hey, I never wanted to leave the Giants. It was not my call. It was theirs." BS or legit?
Classic wide receiver move, causing drama. It's never my fault. They can't cover me. I want all the money in the world. I'm the GOAT. Get out of here.
Yeah, I think that's just Odell being Odell. We know the type of chip he has on his shoulder even before he had the catch. But obviously, as we've seen him go into turmoil in many other organizations after he was gone from there, I do believe it was some smoke and mirrors there. Maybe he didn't want to leave, but maybe he was making it very difficult for the New York Giants to want to keep him. So there's always a double-edged sword with all these wide receivers. Look at DK Metcalf. It didn't look like he wanted to leave from what the organization was saying, but everything else pointed the other direction. And now he's with the Steelers and no quarterback.
The Steelers, no quarterback, but is that true, though? We're going to get into that a little bit later, which this is going to kick off for us. And entering my last segment of tonight, a guy that I had very high hopes for, a guy who's disappointed me for 2 years in a row, Kyle Pitts. Yes, tight end, Atlanta Falcons. We're not going to talk about Kirk Cousins. We know he's holding out. We don't care. Just simple as that. We just don't care about Kirk Cousins. The Falcons don't even care about Kirk Cousins. They just look like idiots because they paid him and then they got a quarterback. And just we don't care about that situation. What we care about is the young talent who literally could have had a Brock Bowers start of his career, but didn't because of coaching staff and how they hated stats and so on and so forth. Now there's rumors going along that Kyle Pitts could possibly be on the trading block. There's also rumors going along that he's dealing with an injury that will not be revealed, probably just upset with the team. But the teams that are in the lead as far as gating or trading Kyle Pitts, I had it here. One of them was the Steelers. So we have the Steelers.
Arthur Smith.
Going back, which I hope that doesn't happen, right? Then we have the New England Patriots. And then we have none other than the team that we've been talking about all night long, the New York Giants. You know that I wish we had sound effects. You know that sound effect where it's like someone has like diarrhea, like right? I just wish we had that for every single team that we name. The New York Giants. That sucks, right? We don't want Kyle Pitts to go into a situation where it's worse. I would love for him to go into a situation where he'll actually be utilized, right? People are going to come at me and say, hey, look at Brock Bowers, worst team in the league last year, and look how he did. Well, yeah, that's the only person they threw to. So I get in better situations. It looks good. And Kyle Pitts is a type of tight end that is a great tight end. The way he plays, he's really good. He is. He got drafted high for a reason. But do we see him getting traded? I know my answer. And where do we see him getting traded to? Let's start off with Vince this time.
Well, I just want to make a point that I never thought Kyle Pitts was the guy ever. I never drafted him in any single league. I've told people to stay away from him every single year. And I don't know, man. I think I'm 100% with anything related to the Atlanta Falcons. So
far, yeah.
So far, I feel like it. But obviously, there's 31 other teams that I'm not 100% on. But so Kyle Pitts, I think the best bet for him is to get traded. Obviously, the Atlanta Falcons are still in kind of like this, who are we? What's our motive? Like, what kind of offense do we want to be? Do we want to be pass heavy? Is Penix the guy? You know, there's still so many what ifs, and you might as well take a what if from another team. If you're going to go to the Steelers, I'd rather take that what if versus what the Falcons what if is. If you want to go to the Giants, I'd rather take what the Giants what if is than the Falcons. Maybe. And then the Patriots, I feel like Drake May is the better what if to go to, because there's no solidified wide receiver over there with the Patriots, but the Patriots have always utilized a tight end to actually benefit them, compliments to Gronkowski there. But After that, they haven't had a tight end and they haven't had much success. So I think his best situation would be to go to the Patriots, and I hope he gets traded because then maybe he'll actually be fantasy relevant just a little bit, in my opinion. But yeah.
I mean, you still got Travis Hunter out there who had flashes and saved a lot of people a few weeks. Thankfully, if you listen to NSP Fantasy Talk, you know Vince and Vince is actually the tight end guru here. But I mentioned a few times Hunter Henry in certain matchups that helped out a lot of people, especially when tight ends are on bye weeks. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see him with a young quarterback like Drake May, who is 1,000 million quadrillion times better than Mac Jones ever was. But Reed, how are you feeling about Kyle Pitts? Oh, okay. All right.
Like that. Like
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
I don't think he gets traded personally. I think that he will stay with the team. Could he get moved at before the trade deadline during season if things aren't going well? Totally possible. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think he's probably on the last year of his contract, I would assume. But I may be wrong on that. I would have to double check. Thank you, Vincent, for whoever is clicking over there. But yeah, I don't see him moving on. I do think he has a chance to this offense. Will I be drafting him in fantasy? Only if he drops to a very late round, which he always does. And I see him and I'm like, this is the year. I'm going to get him really late. And I'm going to look so good. I think I got him maybe 2 times, maybe. I'm not sure. I would have to double check.
He's been dropped 2 times.
I didn't drop him. I believed. But yeah, I would say he doesn't get drafted or traded right now. If it happens, it's before the trade deadline.
Yeah, I agree with Reed. I don't think he's gonna get traded. I just don't think the Falcons can afford to trade him. I mean, they're stuck with Michael Penix as their quarterback. So I know they got Drake London. They got Ray McLeod. Getting up there in age.
Yeah, I think he's almost 30.
Yeah, he's still great. I mean, he did great last year. Great secondary guy. And I forgot who else was out there. He was a freaking
Bijan.
No. As far as receivers, Bijan's out there, of course.
It was a small wide receiver.
Yeah. He kept stealing catches away from Drake London.
Yeah. It was.
It was like touchdown. So like what the?
Yeah.
Come on. But Vincent, I'm going to pass the mic off to you. I know you got some topics for us today. So without further ado, guys, aplauso for Vincent here. Yay.
I mean, trade rumors, quarterback situations, quarterback drama. There's always something going on in the media, right, guys? Obviously, there's not too much going on right now, but the stuff that is going on, in my opinion, is pretty interesting. And usually we never see drama from this quarterback. And no, I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers because that would be the total opposite. But I'm talking about Joe Flacco. We usually never see too much about this guy unless it's him beating the 49ers in the Super Bowl, right?
Why would you bring that up? What?
But obviously, Joe Flacco's not on the Ravens anymore. That was the prime time of his career. Now he's with the Cleveland Browns, fighting for a roster spot, possibly. We don't know. He could be the starter. He could be a backup. But this is what he has to say about being a mentor. So he says, obviously, he got the question, are you here to be a mentor for the Cleveland Browns? Is Shedeur Sanders the guy that you're kind of grooming up to be the starter, or is it Dylan Gabriel, blah, 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 blah. We all kind of have seen the video of the reporters there. Every reporter has millions of questions they can ask, and sometimes they just ask these. But his answer was, if I say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. He says, I tend to try to be honest, and I've said I'm not a mentor. I play football. And in the quarterback room, there have been a ton of times where there have been learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience. I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen, but it's not necessarily my job to make sure they listen to me. Blah, 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 blah. Hopefully they pick up on that and they learn some things from me along the way. But obviously it looks like Joe Flacco wants to be the starter there, as anybody would. Obviously you get paid more money with incentives, everything like that, with these contracts nowadays that they do for these veteran type of quarterbacks. But he comes out again, and now they're trying to slander this man. They're trying to slander him and saying that it's a controversial statement, that he doesn't really care about football. He just cares about him being in the limelight, basically. So there's been some reporters that have just basically stated that it's unclear what he said, and nobody really believes exactly what he's saying. So it says right here, there's a lot that's out of your control at a certain point, but my mindset is, dude, I'm going to win this job, go out there and have an awesome season, and do it again and again. Flacco added to the comment saying, my mindset is still that. I'm looking forward to going out there and proving to myself and my family that I still got it, and I'm going to do this for a couple more years. So obviously he's trying to take the narrative away from everybody saying that he just doesn't want to be a mentor. He's a poor leader. He's a poor teammate, all this kind of stuff. What is y'all's outlook on this from what's come out of Flacco's mouth and has been possibly even twisted past the videos that we've seen? Are you guys in his corner about him being a starter, or are you thinking that he is a bad teammate for saying what he said?
I'll go first. Oh, you want to do, Jay?
I was asking like who's going first.
Okay, I'll go. In my opinion, this is the most perfect answer I've ever heard a quarterback to this question. I never have believed that veteran quarterbacks need or required to be a mentor. That is the quarterback coach's position. All right, that is a quarterback coach job to mentor and coach these young players. The Joe Flacco, the McCowns of the old age, the Brian Hoyers of the old age, they were not being paid to be a mentor or, hey, you're a side coach, you're a partial coach for this younger guy, okay? Now, yes, he's saying that, hey, if they have a question, of course I'm going to answer it. I'm not going to blow them off or be rude to them or etc. But he's not going to go out of his way to meet up with this guy outside of the facility, or meet up with this guy to make sure he's doing the right things here and there. They just got to watch Joe Flacco and see how he does it, and then copy that guy. But he doesn't need to go out of his way to mentor these guys. Now, if he retires and becomes a QB coach, which I think he would be great at, yeah, then it's his job to mentor. Right now, it's his not job to mentor. He should be focusing on being the veteran head coach.
Awesome. I do like what you said there, Reed. That's the most perfect answer. I'm in agreement with that. We're probably going to have to take this stuff off here because of Dizzle's in the chat now. We'll see. But AJ, what do you think on this?
Well, first of all, I do want to say to Joe Flacco, F you. I think, it sucks. But there's no right answer there, right? You could say it's the most perfect answer, but anything you said was going to count against you. Even as well as he said what he did, which I agree, it was great that he said that, you're still in the wrong. You're still in the wrong, according to media's eyes, according to fans' eyes, according to haters' eyes, whatever it is, right? People are looking at him saying, hey, old man, you got lucky. Shut your mouth, Rave. Get out of here. Chat moderators ban him. Get him banned. Out of here. You're done. You're done, kid. People are saying, hey, you old man, you never deserved to win the Super Bowl. You cheated, first of all, right? Secondly, it's all about these two new young rookies to have a chance with the Cleveland Browns. What are you going to do for the Cleveland Browns? What are you going to do? What do you have to offer? Right? Haters. Even though I like his mentality, I like his mindset, he's going out there for his family, for himself, and he's not afraid to help out others along the way. That's how I took it. I think it's great, but in reality, there's no right answer he could have done. But he's a good guy. Screw him, though.
Yeah, obviously the media likes to twist a lot of things. It's how they can get clicks. We've all heard the phrase clickbait, and I think this is just a historic clickbait possible kind of thing that they put out here. Media is going to be the media. It's going to be controversial because everybody's going to see it different ways. I think that Joe Flacco has painted the picture pretty well here. He just wants to play football. Stop asking him these weird questions. Whatever happens, happens. If he's a starter, he is. If he's not, then obviously somebody was better than him. That's how it goes. But let's also get some Dizzle chat in here. He's been waiting long enough, and he hasn't been here in a while. He says Stephon Diggs be getting that after with the Tussie. We're not going to read his other one. He says Dizzle got surgery last month. He also says Deshaun is quarterback 1. Don't sleep on his comeback. Oh, my gosh. He says surgery results in 6 months. I don't even know. I
was about to ask you, Vince, what kind of surgery is that where you get the results in 6 months?
Maybe he made himself taller.
Ain't no way, bro.
I've heard of the knee surgery that takes 6 months to a year before you can walk again. So maybe
like they extend your knee or something. Or
yeah, they literally
shins, right?
They break your bone and they put spacers in it.
Like so that one episode of South Park.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Dizzle as long as it has nothing to do with anything else. But Rick.
Gosh, dang.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I guess he's seen the surgery. I don't know if Dizzle put anything in the Discord.
No,
I'm looking, dude. I'm like, where's
Dizzle says 12 months for full results. So I don't know. Saying gobble gobble.
Well, what if Dizzle came out and said that he sharpened his jawline? I would be so pissed.
Dude, he'd be handsome Squidward if he sharpened it anymore.
Handsome Squidward.
But anyways, let's get past Dizzle and his surgery until he actually sends us some picks here. We have one more quarterback to talk about. Obviously, it's a quarterback that is actually in the drama every single year, every offseason since he has left the Packers. Yes, obviously, we are talking about Aaron Rodgers. Again, people are saying out there, why isn't Aaron Rodgers at Steelers minicamp? Well, because he's not a Steeler. Yes, he's been throwing the ball to DK Metcalf. Yes, he's been talking to the Steelers on and off with Mike Tomlin, everything like that, outside of any Steelers organization meetings or anything like that. But he has not stated that he's going to the Steelers. He hasn't said anything that points to that. Obviously, he's in contact with them, but I'm assuming that he would be in contact with other teams if the teams wanted to bring him in. Obviously, he's already stated on many public forums that he does not want to play for the New Orleans Saints, no matter what.
Lame.
And there's many other places that he could end up going. But Rodgers wants to play, just like Joe Flacco. Rodgers thinks he has a lot left in the tank, just like Joe Flacco. But I think the approach is different, right? Obviously, he's not on a team. I mean, the Steelers, I feel like, should want him, but they've also put out statements saying that they are good to go without him. So my question here to AJ first, because I'll let Reed do it second. If Rodgers does not play on the Steelers, do you think the Steelers are better off with him or without him?
I think overall, no matter what or who plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're always going to look 10,000 times better than the Titans, 100%. But going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a great coach, right? They find ways to win games. And, I mean, shoot, they could put someone like Mac Jones back there and find ways to win games. Are they better without Aaron Rodgers? I think in the long run, yes. But right now, I'm going to contradict myself. I'm going to say no. They're not better without Aaron Rodgers because they wasted all their opportunity, right? They didn't get someone to answer that position in the draft. They didn't get someone in free agency that's really a big hitter. Oh, they got Mason Rudolph? Really? No, dude. I mean, so yeah, I don't think they're better off without Rodgers. I think Rodgers has screwed up plenty of teams. I'm not going to name the other ones, but people waited for him to make a decision. And what?
I didn't say. Just keep going.
And they're literally waiting for him, and he can't make his damn mind up. And like, dude, what's the issue? You're questioning whether you're going to retire. You had all offseason to think about this. You had all postseason to think about this because you didn't make the playoffs. What's going on? I mean, you're messing up franchises. I know if I was one of those franchises that were waiting for a quarterback, which is it's obvious at this point that they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make his decision, I'd be pissed off as a fan. I'd be like, what the hell? Now we're stuck. Now we got no other choice. Now we're running with JJ McCarthy. Serious? No, man. So no, I do not think the Steelers are better off without Aaron Rodgers. I think they went all in. They waited too long, so on and so forth, and they just they're at his mercy now. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, they also did address it just a little bit, AJ, but he's just not a guy that they think is going to start. They drafted Will Howard, but they have no high hopes for this guy. I mean, I think we talked about him being not a very good quarterback in college. So go ahead, Reed. What do you think? Do the Steelers need Aaron Rodgers? Are they better with him or without him?
With Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers have a chance to making the playoffs and getting kicked in the first round. Without him, it'll be a losing season for the first time in Mike Tomlin's career.
Wow.
I do not think they have – their defense will keep a low-scoring game. Their offense will be lucky to put up any points at all. I'm not high on this offense at all. With him, you add some type of spark to be able to do something, to make the offense something. But he's got to make a decision soon. It's way too far into the offseason for him to just jump into an offense, learn it, put his own stuff into the offense because his stuff is very intricate. Not a lot of offenses run the hand signs or things that he specifically does. Not every place does that anymore. He's got to get to know everybody, as I said. There's so much to do to be prepared for an NFL season that it's very, very late for him to come in at this point and expect it to go well. He's taking his time, doing his own thing. He's told the Steelers, hey, I'm going to have to take some time. You guys do what you need to do. If you sign another quarterback, I'm not offended or whatever. Do what you have to do. He's told them that. He's told I think the Vikings that. He has been as open as what his conversations are with the Vikings. He's been very open with what he's had with the Steelers. Don't know fully what he's got going on in his personal life where he's got to figure this out for so long. There's rumors he got married. Dissel said his family is sick. I thought his family and him were still on bad terms. I don't really know what. Maybe is there solar eclipse going on like last year? They have to go to Egypt for. I don't know. But he's got something that he wants to wait and figure things out. Will he retire? Will he go to the Steelers? He's figuring it out. He has every right to take his time and figure that stuff out. But at this point, if he comes into the Steelers, like either now or maybe in a week, if he doesn't do it like right now, it's going to be very, very hard for him to actually put any effect on the actual team and make it better. The clock is ticking, in my opinion.
Agreed. I just think getting off the point of Aaron Rodgers and what he wants to do, obviously nobody knows what he wants to do. Nobody's like this guy. I can 100% claim that for any quarterback in the NFL. But the Pittsburgh Steelers royally messed up, letting go of both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. These guys are starters somewhere else, and it's already been stated. Last year, they went 10-7, made the playoffs. Of course, obviously got bounced in the first round. But they played really good last year, in my opinion, for not having a stacked roster. And, I mean, it would have fed families if they would have kept Russell Wilson here and traded for DK Metcalf like they did. I mean, that connection was always so good in Seattle. It could have been something again with the Steelers here in Steel City. But as of right now, this team looks like a skeleton of old teams. DK Metcalf, Robert Woods, Calvin Austin. I mean, Jalen Warren is a starting running back at this point in time with Caleb Johnson, who they just drafted, possibly maintaining some carries there. But really, there's nobody here besides TJ Watt that has been here for a long time and Cameron Hayward. Obviously, they got some new faces on the defensive side. Minka Fitzpatrick is still there. But the offense is totally revamped, I guess you can say. They've drafted a lot of young guys these past few years on the offensive side, but has not panned out for them like they want to. I think this could be the downfall of the Steelers, even if Rodgers is there. Maybe a game or two better with Rodgers, but just like Reed said, you need time to plan these things. You need time for the offense to gel well. All these guys are new. I mean, when you look at it on paper, Robert Woods, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, all those top guys are new. Roman Wilson is the new rookie coming into this trio that possibly could get passing time. Jalen Warren is literally the only guy on that offensive side besides some of the offensive linemen and Pat Freiermuth that have been there. Everybody else, skill position is new. So it's going to be a hard time adjusting with Aaron Rodgers or not. I say you just run with it. Get Will Howard out there, see if he could possibly be a guy to maybe just come out of the woodworks that nobody looked at and possibly be good. If not, Mason Rudolph, you've seen him play with the Steelers before. It doesn't go well when they play against the Browns. So we'll see what happens. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have a losing season this year. And I'll stand on it again.
Wow. Very well said.
But yeah, let's see what Dizzle's talking about over here. He says, you win a championship with Rodgers, not Fields or Russ. If we're talking about 2011, yeah. But
Justin Fields literally took Aaron Rodgers' job.
This is true. It's true. But yeah. Anyways, I mean, I feel like we always say we never want to talk about Rodgers too much on this show, but we end up doing it anyway just because this guy forces himself into every media outlet.
Yeah.
But
when there's no news in the NFL, there's one thing you can rely on.
It's Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
You can rely about the media talking about Aaron Rodgers.
So if the media wasn't talking about Aaron Rodgers, would we have any interest in Aaron Rodgers, one of the better quarterbacks in the league, who has a great history, MVPs, back-to-back, who's still a free agent? Would we be talking about him?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we're the media.
Oh, we're a podcast.
We're the media.
But yeah. Anyways, guys, the only other thing we can talk about is Stephon Diggs. But, I mean, the writing is on the wall. Patriots might want to cut this guy, apparently, because of all the shenanigans he's doing, not showing up for minicamp, everything like that. But apparently he is working out. So, I mean, y'all glaze Rodgers. Dude, I hate Rodgers with a passion, to be honest. But
oh, you, dude. You glazed it. See?
He's your QB. Jordan Love isn't?
He's one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Oh, you got it.
One of my favorite quarterbacks.
Your QB.
Hey, I love Love.
But he's not your QB.
He's my quarterback.
Rodgers is your QB.
He's my quarterback. Yes.
You only have one.
There's only one out there.
You guys are ridiculous.
You can't choose.
I'm sorry that I have so many great quarterbacks over the history of my team's franchise.
It was just two.
That's true, I guess. Bart Starr, never saw his face.
Yeah. It said in the history of you being a Packers fan, no?
I said over the franchise.
Oh, the franchise.
Yes.
I mean, in my defense, the Seahawks started in 76, so.
Yeah, the Niners don't really have any great quarterbacks in the history of their franchise.
Maybe top 5, maybe.
Maybe. I wouldn't push it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But anyways, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of stuff going on right now with minicamp, players getting highlighted for their teams, whether they're rookies or just a new player coming to a new team. But we'll see what the season shakes out. We are less than, 94 days until football starts. I believe that's correct. Go ahead and comment down below if it's not. But anyways, we're getting closer and closer to the football season. Just like we always say, I mean, obviously we're waiting for fantasy to come back, especially Reed. But I'm just looking forward to the tight ends coming in this year, looking forward to our dynasty, and also looking forward to the leagues that we have going on with NSP. So if you want a spot in one of those, go ahead and DM us, whether it's in Discord or on any social media. So hit the links down below. Let us know if you want a spot reserved. And of course, some of them do cost money, but some of them are free too. First come, first serve. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're already thinking about fantasy like we have been for about 2 months now, come in, let us know. And we're just so ready for football to come back. I mean, that's all my feed is on Twitter now, or X, whatever you call it, just football. So other than that, guys, you have anything else you guys want to talk about before we take off?
Go ahead.
Diggs does drugs.
He does.
Kind of, yeah.
Drug test that man right now.
That's why he's not at the stadium
Mhm.
What are
facilities.
mock drafts starting? I was actually thinking about starting mock drafts as early as the end of this month.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, other than that, guys, obviously, if you have anything you want to talk about, go ahead and join the Discord down below or leave a comment on this video and we'll check it and get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, we hope you love this live. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. And of course, as we always say here, guys, keep on grinding.